Well, friends, thank you for joining us this weekend. Have you been enjoying your weekend with us?
It's been great.
Yeah, I mean, it took us like 32 hours to get here, but once we got here, it was awesome.
Very nice. Well, I kind of polled the audience.
What is this?
Something I never heard of. Sobieski. Hi. Hello, everybody. All right.
Hello.
Thank you. Keep it to yourself. The questions come later.
Right. Well, how about this? Since
How are you, Patty?
I'm good.
Nobody
Dana.
asks how you are.
No, they never do. But it's
They
okay.
just expect you to come up and ask everybody else.
Yeah.
Think about him once in a while. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
I asked him what he wanted for Christmas.
I know she did. She did. You never asked me what I wanted for Christmas.
Because I know what you want for Christmas.
Yeah, touche. Absolutely touche. All right, well, this is a VA roundtable. We got no roundtable, so how about I throw this out too? Because we got several people out there, of course, who want to pursue voice acting, and I've always said that getting into voice acting is like getting into Narnia. Nobody gets in the same way twice. So if it's okay, I'd love to hear each of your journeys into when you kind of broke into this part of acting and broadcasting. Where was
Start
it?
with me. Oh, okay. So I had to go to this crossroads. It was like midnight, and I met the devil there.
Wow.
And we made a bargain. And I was like, look, you can have all of my basic math skills if you just give me like the smallest amount of acting talent. I didn't have a lot to bargain. And he was like, that'll have to do. So I took that small amount of acting talent and then I honed it. And now I can't do math. So, yeah.
Did that devil happen to look just like my father?
Oh, well, you'd have to describe him
Did you
to
sign
me.
the contract in blood?
I did. It really wasn't that bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That is way more fascinating than my story. I too went to a crossroads, and I chose a path. I had a left and a right. No, I've been acting since I was a kid and hated it, and then found solace in VO because it's less crazy and demented.
That's fair.
I feel like everybody's under less pressure.
Yeah.
So it's like, I always equate it to like driving and having to park in the valley as opposed to like in LA proper. Like it's a little more laid back.
There's a parking lot.
Parking lots are a little the spots are a little wider.
It's true, though. I mean, there's something really nice about the fact that, my characters can be famous and I don't have to be. So, yeah.
My parents love to refer to me as being famous, and I'm like, I'm really not. I'm like somewhat well known on some parts of the internet. Yeah. Is as good as it gets. But they're like, no, you're famous. I'm like, no. I have to stop at the store on my way home and get milk, and I have the cart with the squeaky wheel, and it doesn't push straight, and nobody knows who I am. And I like it that way.
We're all like we're all easily less famous than like a YouTube video where a bird shits in his mouth or something.
Oh my God.
Right.
Like one of those, like grocery bag boy gets it in nuts. Like those guys are more famous. You're like, hey, you're the guy who got the thing in the...
I'm less famous than the Chewbacca mom. Yeah. So...
She had her 15 minutes.
Yeah.
She was doing convention appearances.
So if you guys want to get into it for the fame, it's not there.
It's true.
The fame and the fortune, no.
Yeah.
Neither
the
fame nor
fortune.
fortune. Oh, there you are.
It's
Okay.
out of your crushing
but
dreams.
you get fame.
No, right behind you. But you're good too. I'm not denying you exist. I'm just the other guy I said hi to earlier. So.
Dana, what's your origin
Yes,
story?
Patty!
I've never gotten it. I've never actually gotten it. So.
The years back. Harken back. Me and Mel Blanc were hanging out in a bar. Oh, wow. It was World War II was raging on.
No.
We were fighting against the Jerry's.
Right.
I went to college with a girl who went to high school with Dave Willis. And he called her up because they were doing a show. He worked at Atlanta, but I lived in New York. And he called her up and said, do you know anybody who can do a voice? Because we're looking for this one character. We haven't found one we liked. She said, what should he sound like? He said he should sound like his mouth writes checks his body can't cash. She said, call Dana. That's the guy you're looking for. How's that? And then I left a voicemail that was my audition. It's like the most real answer I've given for anything ever.
It is.
Terrible.
I know, that's
it's
why I'm loving
horrible.
this.
It's the worst panel I've ever done.
We've known each other for 10 years. This is the first real panel answer I've ever gotten out
Got
of it.
8 gallons of Cabo Wabo over here, and I'm going to get one of those IV bags.
No.
No, don't bother sipping it.
Crazy.
That's basically it.
No, that works. And
But yeah, you're right. Everybody gets into it 100 ways different.
I got into it. I do voice acting for Disney and attractions, and I was an ad going on around Orlando. We're looking for comedic actors that play video games, and that was all they told us. And that turned out to be the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor show. I was at that.
cool.
I was at that for 14 years, and yeah, then it spun me off into Imagineering projects. And anyone ever been to the Kalahari resorts?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm the voice of Benny, the spider monkey. Jumbo, little dudes, the pool party starts at 3 o'clock. And remember, whatever you do in the pool, you're going to be swimming in it.
What is this? What is this at?
The
Kalahari, they're a
Resort.
chain of water theme parks and resorts in the Midwest.
Oh.
Like indoor water.
Like the, what's that other one like that? The Big Wolf or something?
Great Wolf Lodge.
What is it?
Great Wolf Lodge.
Okay, all right. It's great that everybody answers, but you're all like 2
Works
seconds
there.
off with each other. Okay, Great Wolf. All right, yeah. What's this one called? Kalahari?
Kalahari resorts.
Like African
Yeah.
safari
They got an African
theme.
Yeah, I do the voice of Benny, the
What?
spider monkey.
Oh.
Yeah? Yeah.
Do you recognize him telling you don't pee in the pool?
Okay, all right.
That's your excuse. Stick to that. Don't tell him anything else.
Yes, no,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Hey, I didn't hear it,
Every-
man. I didn't. Nobody told me nothing.
Every 18 months, I go on in and I read about a page of copy, and that's it.
That's great.
That's all.
I have a friend, Gary, who's an engineer, and he hates Disney. Hates it. He's like all outdoors. He's always out like camping and all that kind of stuff. He's got like one of them big Jeep things he drive where he went. He's like, oh, Dana, I just said do this. Oh, you'd love it. You would love this stupid, dumb job I got. I'm like, what is it? He goes, oh, I'm the voice on this new Disney attraction at the new Disneyland. I'm like, you idiot. Like, oh, yeah, that's the greatest job ever. And he's like, oh, it was so stupid. It was like, he's on like the raft ride at Shanghai Disneyland. I was like, you going to go? He's like, I'd never go there. I was like, you ought to not even be allowed to even record for it, you ingrate.
You ingrate.
Meanwhile, I would skin my grandmother alive to be able to do that. She's dead. It's not, well, I guess I wouldn't be alive. That'd be, but you know, you got, it's just it's a metaphor.
So
I don't
that's
mean
actually how you got into
Yes.
Ah.
I'll let you do it if you skin her alive. Is that your grandma? Yeah, I love her. Skin her alive? No, I could. It's for a ride. Shut up, Grandma. Bite down on this wooden spoon. Ah!
The moral of the story is with great voice acting comes great sacrifice.
Yeah.
Well, it does dovetail into one thing, which is, and again, for those of you who want to get into this, it's like you don't pick the roles, somebody else does. And you're going to get a lot of things that you might not be particularly invested in or this, but too, but it's your job to deliver it to what the producer and the director kind of wants, direction he wants to go into. So I've done a lot of ridiculous stuff at Disney that I'm like Walt wouldn't want this, but they're like, Walt's dead. They're like, oh, yes, sir.
Well, he can come in here and stop it if he doesn't like it that much.
Yes.
Start
This looks
crying,
like
you're like,
the
"Walt's
lid.
dead?"
This looks like the lid from another glass. It's like, you see how it's like shorter?
Like the Voss water bottles?
Yeah, like the top of it.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're just talking about other stuff up
No,
here
it's
for a
okay.
little bit.
How about this? This is always a fun one. For each of you, what's been the craziest moment you've had in the booth?
Cloris Leachman hitting on our director.
Really?
I did a record with her, and she did her she was like playing, I don't know if it's Wonder Woman's mom or Wonder Woman's grandma, but she did her last line, and Wes, you know that guy Wes, the director, the Warner Brothers, he was like, can we get one? She goes, I'm done, get me out of here! And they wheeled her little ass right out. They're like, okay, Miss Leachman, here you go, back to the car. Like, wow. Like,
Wait.
why did you even come?
Wait, who's that chickie poo running the soundboard? What's your name? Woo.
Oh, it's like.
I don't feel like I really have any interesting stories. A sound panel fell on me once, and I screamed. But I was supposed to scream anyway. So I was like, did you guys get that? Because that was legit. They did not.
Did they plan it?
I don't think they did.
The engineer's like, I know how to get it out of her. Watch
And
this.
it just fell off the wall right on top of me. And I survived. So that's probably like the most odd thing that's ever happened. I mean,
I
other than
feel
that,
like
it's just anime acting, a lot of anime acting. So a lot of the weird things are actually on the screen. So.
I feel like a lot of, in general, it's not some crazy like Willy Wonka with Oompa Loompas running around. Like it's just a bunch of like mostly not present companies, a bunch of like weird middle-aged people pretending to be 12-year-olds screaming into like it's not like a wild fun factory. There's like unicorns on skateboards and stuff. It's like still just like an office with like just some guy's a bunch of toys on his desk instead of you know.
There was a show I recorded. Does anybody here know Keijo? Yay! Thank you, 2 supporters. Keijo's
I'm gonna give those 2 people candy.
There's a show called Keijo, which is about girls who fight each other using their boobs and their butts because anime. And we did the first 11 episodes with the director at Crunchyroll. You heard me, right? We did the first 11 episodes. At the time, it was Funimation, but then they were like, well, we really need the director to start on something new, so we're going to outsource the last episode to this other studio that I'd never worked at before. But the girls all had, like, moves that had, like, really, like, they're all, like, butts and, like, boob puns, so, like, my character never did anything that sexual the whole show, but then in episode 12, she, like, takes her bikini top off, rubs her boobs, and is like, you just need some acupressure. And then she shoves them against another girl and powers her up like a Dragon Ball character. And, like, it was so wild. And so I did it, and it's all moany and stuff. And then I, like, looked at the director, and I was like, I'm Kristen, by the way. It's nice to meet you. So that one's pretty crazy when I think about it. They're like, yeah, nice to meet you, too. I was like, I'm sorry we had to meet like this.
I had a tense moment. I was recording stuff for a certain gold robot in the Star Wars universe, and the line was
R2-D2.
Yeah, the line was, "Oh, the Ewoks worship me as a god," and I said, like, "Do you mean that?" Because in the movie he says deity. And then I suddenly realized I may have crossed the line, and there was like the real quiet silence, and I could see them talking.
And then they hired Anthony Daniels to do it.
No.
You're fired.
I was doing the scratch track for Anthony Daniels. So yeah, they had me in there for 3 hours, so they only had to bring him in for 20 minutes. So and then I heard the.
All right, say deity.
Like, thank you, and then the lesson learned. It's like, okay, I'm not gonna roll that dice twice. What's your quickest advice to anyone who wants to get into this?
Don't do it. You know, don't overlook trade schools. You can get real good jobs for the rest of your life.
Plumbers make lots of money. John Brown makes money.
Yeah, I'm not kidding around. Don't listen. Unless you want to do something in the arts with every fiber of your being and there's nothing else. Get a
Stop
real job.
crushing
They're
people's
better.
dreams.
No. There's many other dreams to be had.
I thought you were going to say there's many other dreams to be crushed.
Yeah, it's well, maybe.
They have their parents
No, I know.
to crush their dreams.
I don't have more than 5 kids in this room right now. I'm kind of just talking to them, and they know who they are. I don't necessarily. I know 4 of them are. One of them, I'm a little, like a guy in the same glass.
Well, if you happen to want to get into it, our friend D. Bradley Baker has a great website that has a lot of tips and tricks called iwannabeavoiceactor.com, and he probably has better advice than this.
But you
one
can
does.
pour over it. I don't know. Heating and cooling, repair. Everybody calls them at some point. That's who you want it. That's who you want. Nobody when they're sweating in the middle of the summer says, call that voiceover guy, our AC's out. No one.
If we had done, we would have called him on Friday when the AC wasn't working.
That's right.
I would just say cultivate real relationships. Make connections with people because you genuinely want to know them, not because you think they can do something for you. If you can't have a conversation with them that's not about work, they're not your friend. Which sounds mean, but it's true. I am very antisocial. I have like 4 people I hang out with consistently, and everybody else I will see at a party if I decide to go. But most of the time, I'm like, if I can't talk to you about something besides work, then we shouldn't be hanging out. Because all that happens is it puts you in like a negative space, because you're all talking about what you don't have, and it just brings you down. So I would say if you're going to get to know somebody, if you want to make this a career, you have to have something besides just the career part.
Yeah. And I'll parlay that. The advice I always say is, especially for younger people, if you want to be, first of all, don't be a voice actor, be an actor. That's the usual staple line given. 2, of course, is if you want to get into that, then technology is the point now where you can learn a little bit of animation and you can create your own projects. You guys have an incredible realm of opportunity to create your own stuff. Or as I say, go find a peer your age who wants to be an animator and basically be that animator's Robert De Niro to their Martin Scorsese.
Or make a radio drama, like a radio drama podcast. Then you don't have to even have an animator. You just have to have a good story.
I'm doing one right now.
You look, the way you're sitting in there right now, I'm projecting us into a scenario. You look like our drug and alcohol cool counselor. Like the 3 of us are like the guys.
Come out here and rap.
I've been there too, man. I've done everything you've done and more.
You've been low, man. You know, I'm telling you, man, it's a dead end, man. It's a dead end, brother.
Mad. When I used to do lines with Anthony Daniels. Voiceover lines. That.
Oh my God.
Who said that? I'm trying. I'm not. Okay.
No, I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed.
I'm definitely not drinking.
No. I mean, I'm drinking, but I'm not drunk.
Oh. Well, Patty says he's not a drunk. And
Now, wait a minute. How you know this isn't normal acting for me? So you don't know. I could always be like this.
This is him tame. This is tame Dana.
Right, stick around for match game after this.
Yeah, we're at
Then
the
you'll
next
see him
panel,
unleashed.
too. That'll be...
All right, what's up? Thank you for indulging my capricious curiosity. I'm going to go out and take some. I'll just do hands. So raise a hand, and I'll bring the microphone to you, and we'll just wash, rinse, repeat. Whoever asks the first question will get 2 pieces of candy.
2 pieces of candy?
Yeah.
Oh, why'd you throw candy at me?
No, I didn't. I dropped candy.
What kind of candy you got?
It's the,
Might inspire them.
It's Sour Patch Twists.
Whoa.
Soft and pliable, individually wrapped,
Never
so I
even
can
heard of
throw them, and that was way too. So. All right, hey, what's your
I
name?
think so.
My name is John Leone.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal some. Do you want some, Dana?
So I am an inspiring voice actor. Is it okay if I record this?
Yep. Sorry, I was. What? Yes, go.
All right. So I am an aspiring voice actor. I've been taking some classes with Lisa Jesswin as my first teacher, and my current teacher is Danny Jacobs. And he is the voice of King Julian in The Penguins of Madagascar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know him. He's real nice.
I'm wondering, as somebody who lives near the Detroit area, I don't live in New York, I don't live in Texas, I don't live in LA. Would I, if I wanted to do if I wanted to get into the animation, anime dubbing, video games, cartoons and all that stuff, would I would you recommend moving to LA or Texas or one of those areas?
I mean,
am I wasting my
it's
time?
hard to not do it and not be where they make it. Because there's so many people who move there to do it. Why are they going to call some guy up from Iowa when they have 300 people right on their front door who are saying, I want to do it? You know what I mean?
But I will say that since the pandemic, so many of our actor friends moved away from LA, but you would have to build up your home studio and make it be that high quality recording setup and still be able to maintain those relationships. It's doable, but it's tougher.
I feel like a lot of people that moved away and still do it, they already had those relations. Like they already had their agent and everything, but they just said
They were entrenched.
I'm going to move to Oregon now and bring my kit with me. So like there's still like I mean I'm sure you do like you get auditions now, and they'll say if you're not in L.A., put where you are. You know, you say you're wherever you are, Seattle or something, and then they want you to list all your equipment that you use, so they know if they hire you that they know what they're dealing with. Mm-hmm. Like they know, okay, he can do this thing and he's got this kind of mic and all that stuff.
So it's either move where the action is or become a really good audio engineer yourself as well.
A couple of years ago, I said definitely you need to go where that stuff is. Now, I'd say you probably need to go. In the next few years, the landscape might change again. As Steve Barton said, just become so good they can't ignore you. And also, please remember, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
And there's other stuff. I mean, there's other stuff that's not animation per se that a lot of people do other places. Like I have friends that do all the, they do audio books and there's lots of other VO stuff that's not just animation that they do. Because there's what's that?
Audible.
But that website where it has all the open VO auditions.
Oh, like LA Casting Networks, Backstage.
But it's like it's
Select
just one.
VO?
What is it?
Is it Select VO?
It's like Audio Bank or Voice Bank or something like that. But it's got like anybody who wants a voiceover for anything. But the local Dodge dealership in Louisville, Kentucky will put an ad on there of like, we're looking for a voice for this. And sometimes it's non-union. It's like got everything. But that's also a good place you can kind of look on there and, throw your audition in without having to have a agent and things. Because most big animation and things kind of only go through agents. Mm-hmm. They'll cast it with the casting directors, and all they do is they call the same 22 agents who they know are going to send them their same 7 clients that they have for whatever part it is. Like it's just sort of the way the system. It's the way the system was built, and it's easier for them to just do that. They push 2 buttons, and it goes to this guy, and then they push the button, and it sends them to their 12 clients, and then they do the audition. But there's lots of other stuff, too.
Mostly it's like, just bring in Eric Bauza.
Yes. Oh, Eric Bauza's busy? Okay, push that button again and send it to the other 12 people.
All right, young lady. Hi, what's your name?
I'm Erica.
Sounds like a real answer.
I want to know what came to like the last episode of a series. No spoilers or anything, but it's like, how do you feel like even if you like say did this for like 8 years or only did this show for like 3 years, was this like a feeling like, wow, I can't believe this is over already? So it's like that melancholy feeling, but it's like but still it's like we did it because these days unfortunately some shows aren't as lucky to have like a official finish as they deserved.
Well, we did this show, The Ghost of Molly McGee, and we did the last episode of the whole show in between season 1 and season 2, because they knew what the ending was before we even did the first episode, but then Disney was kind enough to let us do the season finale. Because they're like, you got to let us wrap it all up and say who these why he's a ghost and all this stuff. And they let him do it. But then we did season 2. And then they thought they were going to do season 3. And they're like, no, suckers, just season 2 for you. So then we all like cry after we watch the last episode. Because it's sad. The episode's sad anyway. But then on top of it, you're like, and I don't have a job anymore because those stupid Mickey Mouse and the stupid theme parks is rather open than do one more show.
Yeah, I think it's always kind of bittersweet. You never know when you book a role if it's going to even make it past a pilot. So I think anything that happens to run for a full season and then a second and a third or however long it does is a win in and of itself. But then, then the scaries kind of set in because you're like, oh, now I need to find a job.
Right.
We just finished The Duke of Death and His Maid, which, yay, thank you. Yeah. And it was 3 seasons, which for a slice of life anime, romance anime, is like unheard of. But it got a full adaptation, so it got its beginning, its middle, and its end, and that doesn't happen a ton in anime. And we've been working on it for a little over 3 years, and now it's done. And there was part of me that's like, oh, it's done. And then there's part of me that's like, thank God it's done. Because like it was just, it's like, one, dubbing doesn't pay great, guys. Anime dubbing doesn't pay the best. So it was like a lot of time out of our weeks for not a lot of money. But we love the work. But it is nice to be like, okay, well, that's one less thing we have to like schedule into an already hectic week so that we can make time for things that maybe pay a little more money, like video games. But yeah, it is bittersweet because you're like, wow, we spent 3 years with these characters. But also good, because scheduling that was a nightmare. So.
Yeah. Well, and too, like talking about what you said earlier, like if you do, first off, if you audition for 100 things, maybe you'll get in 5 of them. That would be great news. Or let's say 10. That's probably right? Maybe 10 things? Maybe? What if I say it higher?
You got a better
like-
career than me.
More like one.
I was like,
All right.
I try not to look at those numbers.
Well-
I just focus on what I do.
Well,
but-
my point of it is if you get in 10 shows, 10 pilots, let's say, you do 10 pilots, maybe one of them will
picked
ever
up.
get to be a show. So like you get so used to like, man, this is incredible. This will never happen. This one is going to be good luck at even getting more than this one episode. So you're like, even though when you love it, you're also always like, you're like a downer. You're like, yeah, okay, well, this is too good for this stupid network. They'll never pick this one. They'd rather have the Singing Koala show on. But like,
I
you
love that
kind of
Singing
like,
Koala.
I played a
recently
Singing
learned
Koala.
that koalas are really dumb.
No.
They are.
Here's the
They
thing.
literally have smooth brains.
They're like always high. No, that's just
They're
true.
so dumb that if you put eucalyptus leaves in front of them and it's not on a tree, they will not eat them.
They're picky.
No, they're
They
dumb.
want natural. They're organic.
No, they're.
My
they will
mom
only
is a
eat-
koala. And if
they
you
want
call my
tree-
mother dumb one more time,
I was
Want
so
it tree to
disappointed
table.
when I found all this out, and I've been
What
out
is
to
it?
ruin koalas for everyone else ever
that's
since.
right. Treat her mouth. So now we all know who's animal racist up here towards koalas. Finally, the truth has come out.
Google koala brains. It's so weird to look at. They're like so smooth. They have no grooves. They have no intelligence.
We have learned a lot here today. Friends, what's on everybody's agenda? What's any future projects that you're allowed to share with us?
I've got a real great project coming up at 3:15, match game, right on the stage.
Check it out.
Check it out. I don't know who else
Click
Guy's
like
going to
and
be here.
subscribe.
Yeah.
Dana, nothing else in the hopper? Nothing going
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I mean, we did I don't know, there's Patrick Star, SpongeBob somethings.
Okay.
They're all, every weird machine is slowly, rustily cranking along.
What about you, Olivia?
Season 5 of Phineas and Ferb we're working on, which is really exciting. I've been actually writing on the series, so that's been really fun. And
Can you write a role for a singing koala? A smooth
And-
brain, an idiot.
But don't cast Dana.
No, I need to for koala rights. I'm fighting now.
Representation matters.
That's right.
And 4 new Adventure Time projects are in the works. I don't know if I'm going to be part of them, but it's exciting just for the franchise. So
Yay!
It's exciting for them. Yeah. They're very excited about it.
Well, if any of you guys play Genshin Impact, yeah. Natlan is coming, and I play Kachina in that. She's a cute little part Pika girl. She's got little Pika ears. So that's something that's coming out at the end of August. And then I was supposed to go home today, but my flight got canceled. So I'm going to go back to my table. I draw all of my own prints, and I draw anime caricatures. So if you want to know what you look like as an anime character, come to my table. I'll be happy to draw you. It's like a character that you get on the boardwalk, but you'll actually like it at the end.
Oh. I'm
it's not
drawing
offensive.
pictures of the world's smartest koalas. Stephen Hawking koala, Albert Einstein koala. I'll be doing.
I want to see what a Tesla koala looks like.
Oh yeah, Elon
scientist,
Musk,
not the car.
Elon Musk koala.
I said that's
They're
right.
still the dumbest of all.
Real
of them,
talk, when
but-
I was recording on Genshin, I was really trying to get Brooke Chalmers to hate koalas as much as I do now. And he was like Dana. He was like, no, I'm just gonna champion them even harder. And so
But they're just sweet little idiots.
there's all these notepad drawings of like koalas and talking about how dumb they are and how smooth their brains are. So those are out there in the world.
Kristen, you got a lot of hatred towards koalas. Let's get to the root of this.
Hey.
What?
Hey
what-
guys,
what are-
I've been there.
What are you
I used to
really
hate
upset
koalas more than any of you
I
in the
did.
room. Trust
I
me.
did. It's
Me
a
and
dead-
Anthony Daniels used to kick koalas
It's a
down
dead
the
end.
street.
It's a dead end. I'm telling you, it's a dead end. Take it for what it
They
is.
also have sexual diseases. I mean,
Bingo.
I hope not.
Good evening, folks.
All right, yeah, come to my table.
You know what? This was our voice actor roundtable, and that was our time. All right, tell you what, though, before we go, we're gonna
We got a minute 35 left, so
well, we
we
want,
better unpack this koala stuff.
well, we got to take the picture.
I mean, here's the thing. There's a nice thing. Even if they're dummies, they're like the world's sweetest creatures. They're not like, you never hear like, man, I got a koala bite. I've held a koala in my arms.
They're not nice to each other.
Some of them. Not as bad as humans, the
I
most
mean,
dangerous animal.
Almost nothing is as bad as humans.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Canadian everything are pretty terrible.
Oh no.
Well,
Look,
I hope
will
you guys
say,
learned a lot about the beautiful art of voice acting on this
To
panel.
appease Dana, I will say one nice thing about koalas. They do control the eucalyptus population.
Yeah, there's a finite number of them. One day they will all be washed off this planet.
When the eucalyptus trees die and they have nothing else to eat because they're too stupid to find something else to
You
eat.
must have loved those wildfires, watching them run through Australia with all their habitat burned down.
Didn't know they were dumb
You
at
had
the
the
time.
popcorn. You're like, yeah, baby. Don't twist my words. I meant it in a nurturing,
Don't
caring
ever
way.
Google
Don't-
a koala screaming. You'll change your mind.
Yeah. I just remember Dave Willis held one. They put it in his arms and he went, they smell like weed. I'd never seen a bigger smile on his face.
Well,
What? What kind of animal? Minks. Wait a minute. Who thinks minks are adorable? They're like creepier versions of ferrets. Now we're breaking this down. Now we're getting to the real stuff.
I once held a ferret at a pet shop, and I was wearing a hoodie sweatshirt, and then I put it back in, and I put my hand in my pocket, and it had pooped in there.
Oh,
So that's my ferret story.
the jerks of the mammalian world.
I was like, oh God. I would have if TikTok had been around, I'd be famous.
All right, Data, the clock is 0. Do we wrap it up now?
You win this round. I'll be back at 3:15. Match game. Come out.
Dana's going to be back up here at 15 minutes with a whole slew of other guests. They're going to do our version of the match game. Check it out. It is a lot of fun. Ladies, you're going back to your tables in a little
Yes,
bit?
Yes.
absolutely.
We'll be in
The
the way too, so-
celebrity area.
This was our voice actor roundtable, and that was our time. Round of applause for our amazing
Thank you,
guests.
guys.
Now we're going to take our stage selfie. We're going to invite everybody to stand up where you are, and we're going to take a picture of you and these amazing guests. Don't come towards the stage. Stay where you are. We'll get more people in.